You know, your mom would want you to tell us what happened so that we can help that lady. Why did you hurt her?
¿Por qué la lastimaste?
Me estaba obligando.
I was being obligated.
What did you do to hurt her?
¿Qué le hiciste?
Stay with me, okay? Is that okay?
Do you need fire rescue? Are you hurt? What? Medical?
No, pego.
2831 Northwest 49th Street, 1033 Main, 930 hours.
Spanish. His legs are all, I don't know, we should ask if he needs fire. Just to
¿Estás bien? ¿Qué te pasó?
cover our bases.
¿Ah? ¿Qué te pasó?
There's no one in the car, right, Carl?
Primero.
We check in here. There's a coworker, isn't there? Oh, he stayed? Troy, you going real quick?
34 Main, able to go to Delray ER.
¿Qué te pasó?
36 also, 97.
Tranquilo. Vale, pues. Toque.
42, we're going to need FD out here. Our driver is kind of in and out of it, shaking a little bit.
We're already close.
Señor, ¿qué te pasó? Párate.
February riding with FD. 933.
Dame agua para darle.
¿Quieres agua? ¿You got any water? ¿Por qué tienes? ¿Qué te pasa? ¿Tiene algo médico? ¿Qué te pasa en las piernas?
Cometí algo feo.
¿Ah? ¿Qué?
Cometí algo feo.
¿Qué hiciste? ¿Qué hiciste?
Cometí algo feo.
The waters are all frozen. He's getting this. What?
The top de...
Have that. Oh, you understand? Fine.
So, what happened to you, man? Tell me. ¿Qué te pasó?
Una señora de la...
La señora, ¿quién es? ¿La
Estamos,
dueña de la casa?
sí.
Ok, ¿qué pasó?
Le dieron con un jame en la cabeza. Yo te voy a dar todo el cañón.
I don't know why they called you guys. We told them we're not in your jurisdiction. Maybe they're slammed because of this other thing. They have a trauma on the other side. Supposedly he's our suspect who lit this chick on fire and maybe hit her with a hammer or something. And now he's playing, and he falls back and wiggles, but yet he didn't smack his head on the curb because he's clearly probably faking it. Okay. So I'm not trying to waste your guys' time. I also just need to confirm, because he does have burns up his legs or his hair is all blown out, that there isn't something legitimate happening. I don't believe it, but unless you say there's something more legitimate. And then even then, we're going to have to just stand by, because I have to figure out whether or not this dude's coming in cuffs with you guys or something to that effect.
It was supposed to be a simple delivery, just another workday for Jorge Dupre Lachazo and his coworker, David Gonzalez. But what unfolded in the Boca Raton home of 75-year-old Evelyn Smith Udell on that fateful August morning of 2019 was anything but routine. A young delivery man turned an ordinary workday into a scene of unimaginable violence. After the installation of a new washing machine that she had purchased from Best Buy, while David was outside, Jorge attacked Evelyn, striking her with a rubber mallet and dousing her with a chemical solvent before setting her on fire. He then fled the scene, but was apprehended shortly thereafter. But the question was, why did he do it? We'll first hear David's account of the events.
Quédate tranquilo, tú nada más dile lo que diste ya. ¿Por qué?
Yo entiendo. All right, David. Thank you. Obviously, David, like I said, when we do these things, things that, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things that you don't think might be important, and I know, listen, when you go through a traumatic situation and you saw what you saw today, your mind is going 1,000 miles an hour. But for you might not understand, I need exact details. Like when I say, was it open, was it closed, was it a little bit? I need those kind of exact details. So I appreciate your cooperation and I appreciate you dealing with us, okay? So I just want to go back and go through it a little bit more. I'm not going to go all the way back to this morning and stuff like that, but just about when you got to the house, okay? And just need you to, you know, kind of focus a little bit, okay? So can you raise your right hand for me again? Everything you're going to tell me be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you guys. Okay, so like I had said, I know you had called 911 from your phone.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
This is Boca Raton.
Right, what subdivision is that? Which one?
I'm sorry, I don't speak English very well. How do I some situation here, please? Very bad.
What's the problem?
I need somebody. I need the police, please.
What happened?
I don't know.
Are you hurt?
No, somebody help.
Somebody what? What? I need to know what's wrong.
I don't know. I was the lady in the floor.
Okay, so did something happen to you? Because you're crying. I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm telling you. What do you think? I was see somebody in the floor or start laughing or something like that?
Sir, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, let me get a translator on the line. I have help on the way. Stay on the line.
And I listened to that call. So I just want you to kind of go back through and you kind of remember a little bit more, you know, when I was just talking to you.
Okay,
So
¿qué parte quiere que yo
Where do you want him to start?
I want you to go from the time that you arrived there at the house.
Walking into a room and discovering a lifeless body is a moment few people can truly imagine. For David, that moment came without warning. What does it do to a person to see something so horrific? How does the mind process such a shock? And how do you even begin to react? In this video, we analyze the psychological toll of such a discovery, the instinctive reactions, and the immediate aftermath.
And if you want
the whole process?
Yeah. And if you want to speak in Spanish to her, if that's better for you, do that so you don't have to go back and forth to English and Spanish.
Hablamos en español y yo
Whatever you want to do.
Okay, I'll try to do it in English.
Whichever you want to do.
Okay, the first thing, toqué la puerta a la señora.
Knocked on the door.
And then I introduced myself. Delivery guy from this.
Okay, so explain to me today. You get to the house. When you pull up, where do you park? We saw the driveway?
The same.
Right where my car was?
Yes.
Okay, you park right there. And who is with you?
My partner.
Who is that?
George.
George. Okay.
No, last name, no, sir.
No, don't know the last name.
No, because, ¿cómo se dice? Mi compañero está en Cuba. Y él está
So his partner is in Cuba and George is just working with him for a short time, I believe.
How long have you done, have you worked with George? How many?
Around 5 times.
Five days. Okay. The resident's name, do you know her name?
Evelyn.
Evelyn. Okay. Do you know the last name?
No, last name is in the manifest.
Just Evelyn though?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I asked her, show me where the machine go. And then she said, you have to take the door off.
Okay, so let me ask. So you're at the front door or the garage?
No, front door.
At the front door.
Yes.
When you get there, is the garage door opened or closed?
It was closed.
Closed. Okay. So you meet her at the door, and she lets you in the house.
Yes.
And shows you where it's going to go.
And then she said the easy way to go to the machine was for the garage.
To the garage.
So I continue. I give instruction from my partner, like he do take the old machine.
So then after you speak with her,
yes,
you get him out of the truck?
No, he was in the truck, in the back of the truck.
Okay, he was in the back of the truck.
Because always, siempre tiene que estar pendiente atrás cuando yo le digo, necesito esto. When you connect the drive, have 3 prong or 4 prong. He take the appliance out. And he say, what cable? Under 3 or 4, whatever. So when I give you the instruction 3, and you continue working in the area.
So you continue working, he's working in the truck.
Outside. Yeah.
And he's prepping the 3-prong, 4-prong on the machine, getting it ready to bring in the house.
Yes.
And you're in the house working.
Yes.
Okay. So what happens next? You take the old stuff out?
Take all the old, remove for the connector of the machine. I said, George, I need help for taking the machine. We use some kind of special harness for take it out. I take the on hallway first. When I told the lady, you have to clean the area. It's okay, no problem. She started cleaning everything. I hop a little bit. I asked for her for the towel because I got water on the floor.
The floor, okay.
Wipe it off everything. Okay, everything. Give it some time. When I go back again, do the installation of the, how you say that, the vent?
The vent.
The dry vent. Do the installation. Do everything, and then George helped me to put it back.
The dryer.
The dryer. Exactly. Go back again. She not finished yet for the cleaning. And then when they finish, I say, okay, let's go with the washing machine. Put the washing machine. I said, George, you know what? Put it right there. Don't get closer because if the plumber comes, it's access to it. The only thing I need help for the door. For the door for the restroom, put everything back. Okay? He say, go ahead, finish outside because I don't finish the paperwork. But in the meantime, I hardly see the phone call. So we dropped 3 times. Well, I heard the.
Yeah, you showed me. That was 9 o'clock. You showed me 3 missed calls.
And then when I go, the lady told me, explained what happened with the first stop, everything. I heard the first.
So when you go out the garage door?
Yeah, because this is the area we work up.
Okay. And do you close the door inside the garage?
No.
Not the garage door, but the one going to the house.
No, because we're working in the area.
Okay, so that's open.
It was open.
Okay, and then what do you do?
I was outside the truck talking with the phone. And then when I was I heard the first year. And then, ¿cómo se llama? El primer día lo sentí como, ¿sabes? Cuando alguien se asusta una cucaracha, ¡ay! Suave.
Okay, so the first scream was like very light, as if like you see a cockroach and you got scared. That was the first one.
And tú sabes, entonces me quedé en el camión. Cuando yo vi que cerraron el garaje, cerraron la puerta del garaje, yo pensé que ya estaba esto, pero que oí el segundo. Más fuerte.
So he's in the truck and he sees the garage door close, and he thought he was done already. George was done already, and then that's when he heard her scream again, and it was louder.
So I just want to go back. So when you got your phone calls, like you told me,
yes,
you go out the garage door where you're working.
No, todavía no.
La primera vez, cuando usted salió para.
Estaba hablando en el camión, a la misma puerta del
truck.
Okay. So you're in the truck.
Yes.
And when you're in the truck, you see the overhead garage door closed?
Yes.
Cuando usted está en el camión, empieza a cerrar el garaje.
Sí, ya mientras estaba hablando, un par de minutos estaba hablando, sentí que ya estaba cerrando.
While he was on the phone, he saw the garage door closing.
Okay. Go ahead. What happens? So then you're in the truck. You hear.
Está en el teléfono.
Estoy hablando con el teléfono. Pues entonces cuando oí el otro grito, pues, ¿sabes? Todo raro. Y yo dije, pues no salía porque lo que tenía que firmar los papeles. ¿Entiendes?
He thought it was weird that he heard her scream again, and it was louder.
And then it's taking time because of signing paperwork, something. But that happened when I went to the door, tried to open the door. Hey, what happened? The door was locked, the main door. He said, let's go.
Who says that?
George.
Okay.
Let's go.
So you try to open the door.
It was closed.
Okay. And does someone come to the door?
George opened the door. When I tried to open the door first, nobody.
Okay. Do you knock?
Yeah. I called my partner.
Do you call him on the phone?
No, the door.
You just yell?
Yeah. What happened? Cuando abrió la puerta.
And then he opened the door.
And me vino nervioso. Let's go.
He was nervous, saying, let's go.
That happened when let's go because yo le estaba explicando al policía que nosotros hacemos delivery y a nosotros nos tiran con botellas de agua. Hay clientes que son malos, ¿sabes? Y yo pensé que
no. He was explaining to the cops that sometimes there's clients that will like throw water in your face. So that's what he was thinking.
Yeah, we had some argument. Yo pensé que estaba teniendo un argument. Entonces yo lo vi que estaba nervioso, pero no pensé.
He was nervous, but he didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, but let's go. Entonces, cuando yo salí para afuera, dije, no, yo quiero ver, y no me dejó entrar.
When George went outside, he says, no, I want to go inside and look, and George did not let him go inside.
While David's actions seem heroic, calling 911 after finding the victim's body, detectives must avoid assuming his innocence without thoroughly vetting his account. This is part of confirmatory bias avoidance. a detective's effort to prevent forming premature conclusions based on initial evidence or assumptions. In high-pressure investigations, it's common for investigators to gravitate toward conclusions that align with their initial impressions.
He goes in and he sees the bathroom door is closed and blood on the floor. Does he notice anything else?
No, sí vi unas llaves en el piso.
Some keys on the floor.
Does he know whose keys?
No. Mío no eran.
They weren't his.
No. Entonces ahí, antes de llamar, me puse tan nervioso. Antes de llamar al
He got
911,
more nervous before calling
yo
911.
llamé a mi
Get
vecino.
a drink? So he,
Okay.
Instead of calling 911, he got nervous. He called his boss.
Y le expliqué la situación porque yo no sabía lo que iba a pasar. Entonces yo le dije, no sé qué pasó, si hubo un argumento.
before he calls his boss, does he open the bathroom door?
No, yo no toqué nada, porque me dicen para el baño, yo no entré para el baño para nada.
He didn't go into the bathroom for anything. No.
Okay, so he sees the blood on the floor.
Ya. Y yo todo esto, yo entré para la parte de la frente, es como tú abrir la parte de frente, esta es la parte, this is the main door, when you open the door, and the left side, you got the door right there. Tú sabes, yo no tengo que entrar para adentro para nada, pero yo terminé.
He says he didn't have to go in there for anything because he was already done. He just looked until the door closed.
Okay.
Yo sé cómo trabaja esto, situaciones difíciles, si tú tocas algo te compromete, va a tener mis huellas digitales, va a tener todo, ¿te entiendes?
He says, I know how this happens. I don't want to compromise myself with fingerprints.
Right.
If David struggles with inconsistencies in his recall of the events, it might not necessarily be a sign of deception, but rather a result of the emotional shock and trauma associated with discovering the crime scene. The concept of stress response and memory encoding explains that high-stress situations, like encountering a violent or disturbing scene, can have a significant impact on how memories are formed and later recalled. In stressful environments, the body's natural fight or flight response activates, which can focus attention on immediate threats, sometimes impairing the brain's ability to store and retrieve information accurately. This may cause gaps or distortions in David's memory.
He mentioned that sometimes they have issues with customers. Like you say, they get mad, they throw things on you, argue.
That happens all the time. We have a tele driver, you can ask everybody here in West
Right.
Even if when you stop the police, you have an argument with you.
Sure. Any issues today with Evelyn?
No. Bueno,
¿Tuvo problemas con Evelyn hoy?
No, es una persona amable.
She was very kind.
Okay. Does George have any issues with Evelyn?
George tuvo problemas con ella?
No sé, lo que puedo decir sí que vino demacrado hoy.
He says, I don't know, but what I can tell you is that he looked a little messed up today.
What does he mean by that?
Estaba fiestando.
¿Cómo?
Estaba amaneciendo, fiestando, ¿cómo te le llaman? De paganda.
He looked like he was partying. So he looked hungover. He says that he must have partied the night before because he came over today looking hungover.
So he showed up at work today hungover?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you smell anything on him?
No, he got a electronic pipe, eso.
Like a vape pen? Como esa pluma que...
Sí, electrónico, se pasa con eso todo el
He
día. No
had
sé
one
cómo
of those and he
se...
had it all day.
And he was using it today?
Lo estaba usando.
Detectives might explore if David failed to report earlier warning signs about George's behavior. This is part of the concept of third-party culpability, which involves examining whether a witness, though not the primary perpetrator, might have contributed to or covered up the crime. In this case, while David may not have directly committed the crime, detectives need to assess whether he might have played a role in enabling it to occur or in concealing important details. For example, detectives would examine whether David was aware of any concerning behavior before the incident and whether he had an opportunity to intervene or alert authorities.
Just one last question. The stuff, when you used a towel on the floor because the water was there?
Yes. Evelyn was cleaning it.
Does she using anything to clean with?
Pero no sé lo que era.
Okay, he described the towel that she gave him. It was blue and different colors and she was using a different rag. Pero, ¿químicas o algo así que
No
estaba
sé.
usando?
No sé.
Algo para limpiar.
Cuando yo siempre dejo
I asked her if
los...
she was using any chemicals.
Ya, no. No la vi. Yo la vi que tenía el paño y con el mismo agua que estaba, pues la ayudé a limpiar mi área. ¿No entiendes?
He just saw her with the rag and he was helping her clean up the water. No chemicals that he saw.
Okay, all right. Just tell him we're kind of done for now. But I've asked a lot of questions. Is there anything that he wants to share that I haven't asked that he might think is good
¿Algo más que
information for
crees
us?
que le pueda ayudar a él con la investigación?
Que le haga la prueba de dopaje.
Oh, to drug test him and then you're gonna know.
¿Entiendes?
To
Drug test George,
George.
and then you're gonna know.
Oh, got you. Okay. What?
Detectives might ask questions about details only the perpetrator would know, such as what position was the victim's body in when you entered the room, or did you notice anything about the blood pattern? This is done as part of the guilty knowledge test, a method used to determine if someone has specific knowledge about a crime they shouldn't have unless they were involved. The test works by probing a suspect for information that is not publicly available or known to the general public. If the individual reacts to questions about these details, especially those that only the perpetrator would know, it could indicate that they possess guilt knowledge, suggesting their involvement in the crime. While David is not a suspect in this case, the cops have to cover all the bases.
Let me just go back, okay? So you had your missed calls that you showed me on your phone. You go outside, you leave George in there with the clipboard. He's supposed to show her how the dryer operates.
Yeah,
everything like
explain
that.
everything. Exactly.
Okay, he's supposed to explain it, then he'll come outside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're outside,
Mm-hmm.
you say you hear a faint scream,
Thank you. Yeah.
and then you don't think, but then...
No, but it's like sometimes I'm on the freeze. I'm on the freeze like that. I got a mouse inside. Everything. When you want, but when you see something, you working in custom every day.
Right. So the second time you hear it, then the garage door goes down.
Exactly.
Okay. So how long after the garage door go down do you go to the
I don't
front door?
know.
Un momento, dos,
No,
tres.
un momento. The thing, I don't take the garage open.
Okay.
You know, like a few seconds.
Right.
You know?
So then you go to the... Go ahead.
So as soon as you saw the garage door closing, you were going in?
No, primero, like, como 2 minutos, algo así,
2 minutes.
porque me quedé con la preocupación, tú sabes.
He says he stayed worried.
It's not worried because it's nothing normal the second time, you know, like I say, entonces, no por lo, ¿tú sabes por qué me llamó la atención? Only for one thing, for the paperwork. Because I don't take it 10 minutes for...
Easy
That's what brought it
Yeah.
to his attention. He said the paperwork doesn't take that long.
Sí, no, yo no me llamó tanto la atención, ¿por qué se está tratando?
Why is it taking so long?
Okay.
Sí, so...
Detectives are asking David to mentally recreate the scene and describe everything he remembers, including sights, sounds, and emotions. This is done as a part of the cognitive interview technique, a structured approach used by investigators to enhance witness recall without leading.
George's still inside.
Yes.
Okay. And you wait outside talking to 911.
Exactly, because I don't know what he's doing inside, you know, I don't know, it's, when you're talking with somebody, I don't know what he's doing, I don't want to, you know.
Okay. So,
Y si imagínate que yo voy para allá y me quiera golpear.
Imagine if I went inside and he would hit me too.
right. Now, one last question. George, does he have conversation with him about what happened? I know he is assuming there was an argument and a fight, but does he, when he's in there and he says, oh my God, what happened? What'd you do? Anything like that?
No, yo le pregunté qué había hecho.
I asked him what had he done.
Pero él...
His face wasn't him. He was like possessed. His eyes were really big.
No me dio tiempo ni hablar y me daba miedo de que fuera, tú sabes cómo.
Didn't give me time to speak, and I was afraid that he would do something.
Detectives have to ensure that David's recall is not influenced by what he saw after calling 911. This is done to avoid memory contamination, which occurs when a witness's memory is altered due to outside influences, such as media coverage or conversations with others.
So he didn't say anything to him about what he did or...
Nothing. Y no lo vi, y mientras estaba en el camión no tenía problema, no se ve que tenía problema ni nada.
And when we were in the truck, he didn't show any signs that he had any issues. We didn't have any issues.
That's
together.
before.
Antes.
Yeah.
Okay. Does he know where his clipboard is now?
¿Dónde está tu clipboard?
Bueno, si no está en el baño, tiene que estar en el camión, porque Jorge lo
If it's not in the bathroom, it's going to be in the truck because George had it.
George have?
You have the paper where it says manifest.
Right. Okay.
So everything is there. I got my tools in the truck, everything.
Okay. We'll take care of that.
So, ¿cuánto tiempo va a tardar esto? Mira, yo tuve 12
So
horas.
how much longer is this gonna last?
Couple of minutes. But anything else that you can remember that is, you know? I'm gonna give you my card and my phone number. So if you think of anything that comes back, because what happens when we go in a traumatic situation, sometimes our mind shuts down a little bit and it doesn't allow us to think of everything. So if you get home later and you think of something you want to tell me, I'm going to give you my cell number and my desk number. You're going to give me a call, okay?
When someone witnesses or experiences a traumatic event, the intense emotions tied to that moment can overwhelm cognitive processes. As a result, certain details may be remembered with clarity, while others may become blurred or fragmented. This can lead to inconsistencies in testimony that are not necessarily due to dishonesty, but rather to the way the brain processes traumatic events under stress.
Let me take this out. Let's take that out. Have you ever been in trouble with the law before?
¿Te has metido en problemas antes con las leyes? He says you talk too fast.
Oh, sorry.
Sí, antes hubo una confusión que tuve con un teléfono hace mucho tiempo, pero todo me lo quitaron.
He had a confusion with a phone a while ago, but all those charges were dropped.
Okay, y yo contraté un abogado y como tenía menos de 18 me lo...
He hired an attorney and because he was 18, under 18, they took care of it.
¿Sabes? No debería decirlo, pero es lo mismo. Me dijeron que no debería decirlo, pero es lo mismo.
He says that he was told that he doesn't really need to talk about it anymore, but he's telling you about it.
No, that's fine. I'm just kind of curious. Do you want me to get a Spanish rights? I didn't realize I just.
No, I can translate it. Yeah.
English? Okay. I want to talk to you about what happened today and get your side of the story about what happened today.
Él quiere saber tu versión de lo que pasó hoy.
But I have to read you your rights because you're here at the police department. What's the tattoo? How is that? Your tattoo there.
¿Tu tatuaje de qué es?
Oh, lo tengo hecho con un hermano mío.
A friend of his.
Okay. Tattoo, what is that?
Oh,
¿Eso qué es? ¿Qué es?
Es las velocidades de mi carro.
The speeds of his car.
Ah, what kind of car do you have?
Un
Mustang.
Hace mucho tiempo, sí.
A long time ago.
In 95.
Nice.
This man had killed a woman who was known for her kindness and generosity. She was a great tipper and had a petite frame, no larger than her 10-year-old grandson. But Jorge beat her so brutally with a rubber mallet that she was unrecognizable. When she was rushed to the hospital, her clothes had melted into her skin, her body so heavily wrapped in protective coverings that her son, Jorge Udell, could only manage to kiss her ankle goodbye. This was the extent of the horror inflicted on a kind and gentle woman.
Okay. Was he working by himself today?
¿Trabajaste solo hoy?
No.
¿Con quién? ¿Con quién te estaba trabajando?
Con David González.
With David Gonzalez.
Okay. Does he work with David all the time?
¿Trabajas con David todo el tiempo?
No. How often?
Okay.
So David's helper is in Cuba right now, and because of that, he picked up today's shift to make more money.
Okay. So the last stop they made was the washer and dryer?
Y la última parada fue el washer and dryer?
Okay. And he's the helper?
Y tú eres el ayudante.
Okay. Tell me what happens when you get to that house.
When you get to the house, he's the helper, so he goes in the back of the truck, lifts the lift,
Okay, lo ayudo
connects
con los
everything,
straps, lo
helps
ayudo
him
a
with the
entrar,
straps, helps
lo
him
ayudo a
take
entrar.
stuff in.
Saco los haloways hacia afuera del camión.
Baja un poquito.
Let her translate to me.
Deja que yo le traduzca para él también vaya entendiendo. Entonces ustedes llegan y tú vas atrás
del camión.
Okay, so he goes into the back of the truck. He lifts. Okay. He takes the lift up.
Saco washer and dryer.
Takes the washer and dryer out.
Okay. Put it down.
Put it down.
Lo abro con la cuchilla.
He opens it with the knife and takes the cuffs, the boxes off.
Conecto los cables.
Connects all the cables.
¿ok? Y le ayudo a entrar las cosas hacia adentro.
And he helps
Ahí
him put
salgo.
the stuff inside. And
Salgo.
he gets out.
Sacamos los Holloway de la casa también, disculpa.
¿Cómo?
Sacamos los Holloway de old machines,
Oh, they take out the old machines.
¿ok? Lo subo al camión, lo
Puts it
amarro,
back on the truck. Tie it
recojo todo
up.
afuera,
Clean up all the stuff outside.
entro a ver si todo está ok.
He goes inside
Ok,
to
si
make
puedo
sure that
tirar una
everything's
foto para
okay.
ayudarlo, lo tiro.
And
Tiro
he,
todo.
espérame. If he can, he'll take some pictures to help David out. And then they just go back in the truck, turn on the AC, and they leave.
Okay, today they did.
Eso fue hoy.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me go back. The house that he's at today, does he remember the house he was at for the washer and
La
dryer?
casa que fuiste hoy para la lavadora y la secadora, ¿te acuerdas de la casa?
Sí, claro.
Yes, of course.
Okay. How many people home?
¿Cuántas personas estaban en la casa? One person.
Okay. Can you describe that person?
¿La puedes describir a la persona?
Sí, chiquita, con espejuelos
She was
y
little
pelo
with
ahí.
glasses and her hair was that long.
¿Sabes? No tuve mucho contacto con ella,
I didn't have a lot of contact with her, but
pero
Okay. Does he go in the house?
¿tú entras a la casa?
sí, claro.
Yes.
Como
of
si no,
course.
como entramos las cosas y cómo sacamos las viejas.
Because otherwise, how is he gonna take the stuff inside and take the old stuff out?
So he helped move things in
Entonces
and
tú
out.
le ayudaste a meter y sacar las
Claro, si no,
cosas.
no podemos hacer
They,
nada.
they first went in through the main door,
Y tenía
and
dos
he saw
escalones.
that there were too many like sticks, and he says that it would damage the
Ok,
machines.
cerré la puerta.
So he closed the
Entré por el
door.
garaje.
He
Who
went
does?
in.
Who does? He does or
¿Tú?
Sí.
¿Tú entras? Yes.
Or
He goes in.
David? Him or David?
¿Tú o David entran
Yo.
por la puerta principal?
No, yo fui el que abrí la puerta principal,
He
miré
says, I
y
opened the
entré.
main door. I looked
Él
and I
estaba
went in.
conversando con la persona.
And he was talking to the person.
Ok. Entré, miré por el que el garaje era más fácil que cabía.
He saw
Okay.
that through the garage. It was easier to get in.
Y ya, y cogimos, sacamos las viejas, entré las nuevas y me puse a recoger fuera.
And they took out all the old stuff. They put the new stuff in, and he started cleaning outside.
And he said the lady was nice?
Y dijiste que la señora era amable?
Sí, me dio agua.
Yes, she gave me water.
And he's there about 40 minutes.
¿Y estás ahí como 40 minutos?
No, te dio el tiempo que nos demoramos haciendo el delivery, pero yo creo que no es estar ni 10 minutos.
¿40 minutos de qué entonces?
Nos demoramos haciendo el delivery.
¿Qué el delivery de qué?
De wash and dry, lo que nos demoramos son 40 minutos haciendo el delivery. Más o menos estuvo adentro
He says
10.
they take about 40 minutes doing the washer and dryer, but he first said no.
rápido.
How long
It's
does
quick.
he think he was there today?
¿Como cuánto tiempo sientes que estuviste ahí hoy?
No creo que 10 minutos acaso, o
10
15.
minutes maybe or 15.
Ahora,
That's in total at the house?
¿En total? ¿Adentro de la casa?
creo que sí.
I think so, yes.
Okay. Where does he go?
¿Y a dónde vas tú?
Voy al camión.
To the truck.
Okay, and then where?
¿Y después?
Ya nos quedamos ahí.
And they stayed there.
Sí.
I got in the truck and I left.
What happened?
That's what we need you to tell us.
Eso es lo que necesitamos que tú nos digas.
Como que yo le diga.
What do you mean for me to tell you?
I need to tell what happened at the house.
¿Qué es lo
So,
que pasó en la casa?
George,
Ok.
something happened at the house,
Algo pasó en la casa.
see? And something happened that I don't think was meant to happen.
Y
Sí,
algo.
claro, y yo salí.
David called us,
¿Ah?
David nos llamó a nosotros.
Ok.
see? And you're at the house,
¿Y tú estabas en la casa?
No he hecho nada.
¿Como a las 3 de la mañana qué?
No he hecho nada.
Since like 3 a.m. he hasn't touched anything.
what did he use at 3
¿Qué es lo que usaste a las 3 de la mañana?
Cocaína.
Cocaine.
Anything else?
¿Algo más?
No, ya, yo fumo normal. Tengo un pen.
And he smokes normal.
Jorge is young, about 21 years old at the time of his interrogation, and reportedly has impaired cognitive function, which the detectives attribute to his use of cocaine and marijuana. Long-term or heavy use of substances, particularly stimulants like cocaine, can impair cognitive functioning, leading to poor decision-making, memory issues, and even hallucinations or delusions, especially when intoxicated or in withdrawal. These substances can also alter a person's emotional state making them more prone to impulsive actions and erratic behavior.
George, obviously you're here at the police department, correct?
Estás aquí en el departamento de policía, ¿cierto?
Ok.
Why?
You don't care why?
¿Y no te importa por qué?
No quiero saber.
I want to know why.
Did you ask the police?
¿Le preguntaste a la policía?
Sí, pero nadie me responde.
Yeah, but nobody tells me anything.
Okay, understood. Okay, and he's inside with
¿Y
her?
tú estás adentro con ella?
Sí, en el laundry.
In the laundry, yes.
Okay. What happens?
¿Qué es lo que pasa cuando están ahí?
Nada.
¿Qué es lo que pasa cuando están ahí ustedes dos?
No pasa nada. Me están asustando, ¿qué pasa?
He said, nothing happened, you're scaring me, what happened?
Okay. I don't mean to scare you, but I think you know what happened.
Él no te quiere asustar, pero tú sabes qué es lo que pasó.
No sé qué pasó.
So-
si no, yo lo hubiera hablado.
I don't know
Okay.
what happened, otherwise I would tell you.
Okay, I need you to think hard about what happened.
Tienes que pensar y pensar duro. He wants to know what happened.
This lady is injured.
Esta señora está herida.
So sometimes, or when we do things,
A veces cuando hacemos cosas,
we do things and we don't think straight.
las hacemos y no pensamos bien las cosas.
¿Usted me está queriendo decir con eso?
But what you
Go ahead.
but what you can do,
Y yo sé que yo no hice nada malo.
Pero ¿qué es lo que pasó?
No sé qué pasó. No sé qué pasó. No sé qué pasó. Créeme, yo no estaba entrando a las casas porque como estaba rezagado, no sabía nada, yo estaba trabajando afuera.
Piénsalo bien. He says, I believe in God and I don't know what happened.
was he under the influence of drugs today?
¿Estabas bajo la influencia de drogas hoy?
No, ya no, estaba.
He's like,
Ow.
you know, ¿cómo se quemaron el pelo en tus piernas?
George, you need to be honest.
Tienes que ser honesto, tienes que decirnos por qué.
Tell me what happened.
Dile qué pasó.
Si yo hablo, mi hermano está bien.
If he speaks, his mom's not going to be okay.
All right. Just tell me what you're thinking.
Dile lo que estás
I
pensando.
need you to just tell me what happened there.
No, just give him a minute. Pero lo que pasó ya pasó. La señora va a estar bien. Está herida, pero va a estar bien ella. ¿Por qué dices que tu mamá no va a estar bien? ¿Por qué?
Porque no va a estar bien.
¿Por qué? ¿O fue a propósito? ¿Fue de maldad?
Como debe ser tener maldad con 21 años.
Yo he entrevistado a muchas personas de todas las ciudades. Entonces yo no conozco a la persona, pero lo que yo he visto de ti, de que tú eres una persona sincera y que tienes sentimientos por cómo estás ahora. Hay personas que no les importa nada, pero tú te has portado bien con nosotros.
Mi hermano va a estar bien.
Y tú quieres a las personas que te quieren a ti, ¿verdad? Como tu mamá. Pero como dice él, el pasado no lo podemos cambiar. Pero si no sabemos qué pasó, entonces tenemos que ir por la evidencia y no se ve bien. Y entonces por eso yo pregunto si esto fue maldad, si fue al propósito, si fue porque no querías a la persona, por alguna venganza o si fue un accidente.
Mi hermano,
¿Por qué?
la gente de las drogas.
¿Mm?
La gente de las drogas.
¿Por las drogas?
La gente de las drogas. La persona
¿La persona qué?
de las drogas.
La persona de las drogas. ¿Te violaron? ¿O te tocaron?
Me tocaron.
¿Quién fue? ¿Hablaste con alguien sobre eso? ¿Con nadie? ¿Y eso te ha afectado a ti desde ese tiempo?
No puedo ir, no puedo hacer nada.
Desde hace 2 meses. Y Entonces, ¿cómo haces para seguir el día? ¿Es por eso que usas las drogas? ¿Que te tocaron a ti? ¿En donde sexualmente? Esas personas te tocaron sexualmente, te están amenazando que van a herir a tu mamá. Y si tú no les pagas, ellos van a herir a tu mamá. Entonces tú necesitas dinero.
Me hable, no soy cosa.
He says he hasn't been able to sleep. He can't do anything because the last 2 months this has been haunting him, that people touched him. He doesn't feel like a man, and he says that he can't tell his mom because his mom's gonna hurt. Pero hoy, ¿por qué con esa señora? Esa señora te estaba obligando. ¿Esa señora te estaba obligando? ¿Las otras personas?
Ellos son un grupo. Yo no puedo llevar y todo. ¿A dónde están ellos y todo?
Es un grupo de hombres que te están obligando a qué.
Ellos venden droga y todo. Yo te voy a dejar. Yo no le robo nada a nadie. Yo no tengo necesidad de solo trabajo.
Entonces, ¿qué hiciste hoy? La señora que ella te habló fuerte, ella te habló bien, era amable. Y entonces, ¿ella estaba en el laundry o estaba en la cocina?
En el laundry.
En el laundry. Y entonces tú la agrediste. ¿Con qué la agrediste? Pero dime, ellos no te están entendiendo, tú dime. ¿Tú agrediste a la señora? Ok, pero ¿alguien te mandó a agredir a la señora? ¿Sí? ¿Qué te dijeron?
Ella no puedo, no.
Te vas a volver loco si no hablas de lo que pasó. Ok, ella la tienes que... He says he can't tell me because they're gonna get his mom. They're gonna hurt his mom.
He can't tell you what.
What happened? He says that these men have him threatened, that he's forced to do things. So I'm asking him, did they make him go over there to hurt this woman?
Yeah, what did they force you to do today?
¿Qué ellos te forzaron a hacer hoy?
While it's clear Jorge is experiencing significant emotional distress, there's also the possibility that some of his behavior is manipulative. By claiming that he was forced by others, he may be attempting to create doubt about his culpability, framing himself as a victim of external forces rather than a perpetrator of a violent crime.
Jorge, después de hoy yo ya no te voy a poder dar otra oportunidad para hablar conmigo. Si tú no me dices, ya no...
If they forced you to do something, tell us what they forced you to do.
¿Qué te forzaron a hacer? ¿Cómo la agrediste? ¿No sabes? ¿Con qué? ¿Con tus manos? ¿Con tus puños? ¿Con qué la agrediste? ¿Mm? He said he hurt the lady, but he won't expand from there.
Are you sorry that you hurt the lady?
¿Tú tienes remordimiento de verla lastimado? ¿Te duele el corazón? His heart hurts.
Okay. If your heart hurts, then you'll tell me what you did to her.
Si te duele el corazón, dile entonces qué le hiciste.
We need to know what happened to that lady so we can help her.
Tienes que decirnos qué le pasó a esta señora para ayudarla.
We need to know exactly what happened to her so we can help her.
Tenemos
Okay?
que saber qué es lo que le pasó para poder ayudarla.
We need to know what you did to her.
Tenemos que saber qué le hiciste.
If Jorge is genuinely struggling with his emotions, it might be because of cognitive dissonance, where his internal belief system clashes with the reality of his actions. He may have convinced himself of a certain narrative or rationalization, but now, in the face of the interrogation, he's confronting the horrifying truth of what he did. The internal conflict could manifest in physical symptoms like crying or nausea. Crying could indicate an overwhelming emotional response, possibly due to guilt, stress, or shock from the crime. For someone who committed a violent act, the reality of their actions can sometimes trigger an emotional breakdown, especially if they hadn't fully processed the magnitude of the crime. In some cases, individuals may experience what's known as emotional numbing as a defensive mechanism, which allows them to temporarily detach from the gravity of the situation. The visible breakdown could be a delayed emotional reaction, triggered when the reality of the crime hits him during questioning.
Jorge, ¿qué le hiciste?
Was it your hands?
¿Con tus manos? ¿Con tus puños?
Something in her house?
¿O algo adentro de su casa? ¿O con una herramienta con la que viniste? ¿Con qué lastimaste a la señora?
I can tell you now, your mom would want you to tell us what happened so that we can help that lady.
Tu mamá quisiera que tú nos dijeras qué es lo que pasó, para que podamos ayudar a la señora.
Why did you hurt her?
¿Por qué la lastimaste?
Me estaba obligando.
I was being obligated.
What did you do to hurt her?
¿Qué le hiciste?
Tell us. Are you a bad person?
¿Tú eres una persona mala?
Tell us what happened.
Dinos qué pasó. Dinos qué pasó.
Jorge, your mom would want you to tell us what happened.
Tu mamá quisiera que tú nos dijeras qué es lo que pasó.
Sangre de mi mano.
Just take me out of here and kill me.
If he wants to believe in God and he wants his mom to forgive him, he will tell us what happened.
Si tú quieres creer, si tú dices que
It
crees en Dios,
starts today, Jorge. It starts today. To get forgiveness from God and from your
para
mom,
que te perdone
it
Dios
starts right now
y para que te perdone tu mamá empieza ahora.
by being honest.
Tienes que ser honesto.
Jorge, the only way you're forgiven in this is to be honest. You have to be honest.
La única forma que alguien te va a perdonar es ser honesto. Pero si tú no eres honesto, nadie te va a perdonar.
Lying is just going to prolong it. Your heart, when you're honest, your heart will feel better.
And he's like, at 21, I just threw my life away. ¿Con qué le pegaste? Dime. Tú vas a estar bien. Tú tienes que perdonarte tú solo. ¿Con qué le pegaste en la cabeza?
Es que no lo hice yo. Un papel. Me quedé así.
They had me like this.
No sé para dónde. No sé.
I don't know what to do.
You hit her one time?
¿Solo una vez le pegaste?
With what? What did you hit her with? Or in your fist?
¿Con qué le pegaste?
Mátame.
¿Eh? Kill me. ¿Qué usaste? ¿Usaste herramientas?
As the interrogation progresses and the detectives close in on the truth, Jorge may be beginning to feel the weight of what he's done, leading to an overwhelming physical reaction. The fear of impending punishment, coupled with the realization that his actions have irrevocably changed his life, can trigger intense physical responses like sweating and shaking. In this case, Jorge may be experiencing anticipatory anxiety, the physical response to the thought of facing the consequences of his actions. This fear, compounded by the stress of the interrogation, forced his body to prepare for the emotional and psychological fallout.
Do you hit her with a tool?
¿Usaste una herramienta? ¿Sí? ¿Qué herramienta?
Was it one of your tools?
¿Unas de tus herramientas?
No?
Herramienta de ella. So it was one of her tools. ¿Qué era?
Where did you put it?
¿Dónde lo pusiste?
De goma.
Un martillo de goma. So it was a rubber hammer.
Rubber hammer you hit her with? ¿Cuántos?
¿Cuántas veces? Una vez. Y entonces después, ¿qué pasó? Ella se cayó. ¿Y qué dijo?
Let's go back. Why?
¿Por qué?
Why did you do that to her?
¿Por qué le hiciste eso a ella?
Estaba amenazando con mi mamá.
Because he's being threatened
¿Cómo se lo tengo que
with his
decir?
mom.
¿Cómo se lo
How
tengo
many
que
times
decir?
do I
¿Cómo
have
se
to
me
tell
metí en
you?
un lugar donde no tenía que meterme?
I'm in,
Cometí el error más grande de mi vida.
I'm in a
Eché mi
place
vida
where I
por
wasn't
21
supposed
años a
to be.
vender.
I made the
Comprende, ya no sirvo para
worst
nada. O sea, yo
mistake of my
para nada,
life.
para
I'm
nada. Yo
good
no
for
soy hombre, yo
nothing.
no soy
I'm
nada.
not a man, I'm nothing.
So what was he trying to take something from the house today?
Entonces, ¿tú querías agarrar algo de la casa?
An arrow?
¿Dinero? ¿Cómo te quemaste? Jorge, cuando esa señora se había caído y está inconsciente, ¿qué hiciste? ¿La ayudaste a levantar? No, la dejaste ahí. ¿Y qué hiciste?
Jorge, when we ask these questions, I know all of the answers. Okay?
Dice, cuando te haces estas preguntas, él ya sabe todas las respuestas.
I just need you to tell me.
Él solo necesita que tú le digas.
Phone? What about it?
Dime, yo le digo a él. ¿Qué es eso? No entiendo. No entiendo qué es eso.
I don't understand what he's saying.
Él lo puso a grabar.
Dígame.
Él lo puso a grabar.
He says that you started recording him.
No. I was just checking voicemail. I had 3 text messages. I was just checking. All right.
Si esa persona sabe lo que le estoy diciendo a ustedes,
If that person knows what he's telling you,
There you go.
they're going to kill him.
No, I threw it out. It was just my text messages, that's all.
Son sus mensajes.
No problema.
¿Ya ves que lo sacó?
What do you do with it?
He said the house caught on fire.
Mhm.
And then he says, with something from the garage. And I asked him if he closed the garage. He said yes.
Okay.
If he went to the garage, he said yes. And I said, did you go grab something in the garage? He said yes, a bottle.
Okay. And what did he do with this
¿Y
stuff?
qué
in the bottle?
hiciste con la botella? ¿Qué es eso?
yo oigo a esa gente. No,
Okay. The only thing I ask is for you to find these people.
o sea, está acabado con mi vida.
What did he do to
Because
the
they're messing
stove?
with his life. ¿Qué le hiciste a la estufa?
Oven.
¿Qué le hiciste a la estufa?
Se ve hacia adelante.
He pulled it out.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Porque eran las cosas que me mandaron hacer.
Because that's what they told him to do.
Why did you turn it on?
¿Por qué la prendiste?
Porque eran las cosas que me mandaron hacer.
Because that's what they told him to do.
Me loco, se me aparecen en todos lados.
They drive him crazy, they're everywhere.
Yo sé que no tengo perdón. Yo lo
He says,
sé.
I know you can't forgive me, I know.
Pero me iban a dañar a mi mamá.
¿Pero qué?
Me iban a dañar a mi mamá.
¿Te llevan qué?
I respect you for being honest with us.
Dice que él tiene respeto por ti por ser honesto.
Being honest.
Disculpa.
He says,
And
I'm
you're-
sorry.
No. And your mom will respect you, okay?
Y tu mamá te
Sí.
va a respetar.
Mátame.
He said, kill me.
No. You're gonna get through this, my friend.
Todo va a estar bien contigo.
You're gonna get through this.
Quédate tranquilo.
Here's some agua.
¿Quieres agua? No.
Con esa gente, por favor.
Jorge's statement that voices told him to kill and that a group of people pressured him into committing the crime may indicate a form of psychotic thinking or delusional disorder. These are symptoms often associated with severe mental health disorders, such as schizophrenia or a substance-induced psychosis. Alternatively, this could be an attempt to deflect responsibility, where Jorge is using a narrative of external control. People in distress, or those facing legal consequences, sometimes adopt these kinds of delusions or stories to justify their actions and manipulate the perception of their culpability.
Ask him, I just want to know, is he seeing a doctor?
¿Estás viendo a un doctor?
No.
Pero últimamente veo cosas.
He said no, but recently he's been seeing stuff.
Y corro.
Is he
And he
on
runs.
Is he on medicine?
¿Estás tomando medicina?
Esa gente se aparece en todo lado.
Those people appear everywhere.
Okay. Ask him again, I want to go back just to the drugs. Does he take any cocaine today?
¿Tomaste cocaína hoy?
No. Smoke marijuana?
¿Fumaste marihuana hoy?
Un pen que tengo.
¿Un qué?
Un pen.
Oh, a pen.
Vape pen.
Pero de veras respeto mucho de que tú has sido honesto conmigo. Toma mucho valor. Me parece que estás yendo por una situación muy difícil. Tú vas a estar bien, quédate tranquilo.
No,
Sí. Tú no eres una persona mala. Tú eres una buena persona, pero quédate tranquilo.
no va a haber más nunca la luz.
No digas eso. Te respeto por lo que dices. ¿Ok? Siéntate, por favor.
The more the interrogation progressed, the clearer the motive became. When Lachazo was arrested, $203 was discovered in his pocket. The detectives soon linked it to Udell's wallet, which had been opened and searched. A dollar bill, still burning next to her, provided the final piece of the puzzle, suggesting the crime wasn't just about violence, but about greed.
No te caigas, no te vas a caer, ¿ok? Stay with me, okay? ¿Está ok? Le llamo al departamento de bomberos para que te chequeen, ¿ok?
Necesito algo de comer.
¿Eres diabético?
Necesito muy mal, como que no tengo nada en el estómago.
¿Eres alérgico a algo?
¿Eh?
¿Eres alérgico a algo?
A la penicilina.
¿Ah?
A la penicilina.
Call Step and said he's getting dizzy because he hasn't eaten anything. Can we give him anything to eat?
Jorge is under extreme pressure, where the gravity of his situation is undeniable. The prospect of facing a serious charge, combined with the intense scrutiny of the detectives, can trigger a fight-or-flight response. When a person experiences high levels of anxiety, their sympathetic nervous system is activated. This leads to various physical symptoms, including nausea, stomach cramps, and a sensation of being physically overwhelmed. In Jorge's case, his nausea might reflect the intense emotional distress and psychological shock he is feeling as the interrogation forces him to confront the severity of his actions. The body's natural response to this stress is often gastrointestinal discomfort, as the body's stress response affects digestive processes, causing a feeling of sickness. Marijuana use can contribute to withdrawal symptoms, although they are generally less intense than those associated with cocaine. However, if Jorge was using both substances, the combination of withdrawal effects could make his nausea more severe and prolonged. On April 5, 2023, Jorge was convicted of first-degree murder, burglary, and arson. He was subsequently sentenced to 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole, tacking on an additional 30 years for first-degree arson. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, there is a Patreon link in the description where you can support the channel further. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.